So let's look at our first topic, which is Sich, Vorstellen. Now, Sich, Vorstellen is self-introduction, and we have several parts in this. The first one being Begrüßungen and Abschiede. Now, these are greetings and farewells. So, Begrüßungen, greetings, Abschiede, saying goodbye. Now, in German, you'll find this recurring theme where we differentiate whether a situation was formal or informal, or rather whether a conversation was formal or informal, because we don't have just one way of saying you, like in English. There's actually 3 different words, because you have to show if the relationship you have with whoever you're talking to is cordial or not. So for cordial relationships, maybe with family or friends, you use the informal version, but for maybe strangers or in offices, you use the formal one. So the formal one has a singular version and a plural version. The informal one has the singular and the plural, and then the formal has only one. So specifically for this topic, we will look at the formal and the informal singular. All right. So the greetings that we have for formal, Guten Morgen, Guten Tag, Guten Abend. Informal, hello. The way we say goodbye, Auf Wiedersehen, Auf Wiederhören. In informal, Tschüss oder Ciao. But definitely in informal, you'll find more ways of saying either hello or goodbye. So our priority right now is on getting the formal ones. Now, Guten Morgen, Guten Tag, Guten Abend. These are the good mornings, good day, good evening, and you just answer the same thing. Auf Wiedersehen, Auf Wiederhören. Auf Wiedersehen, sehen is to see, hören is to hear. So sehen, we use it when you had met with someone physically, but hören was for when you were talking over the phone. Yeah, because now it's to hear. Let's now move on to our next topic, wie geht's? So this is how we ask, how are you doing? And this is where we'll start seeing the different pronouns, so the different use. Dir will be the informal one, in this case, Ihnen, formal. So you'll either ask it as wie geht's dir or wie geht's Ihnen. And when the person is answering, so assuming that you're talking to one person here, not to multiple people, we'll look at that later on. When the person is answering, they will answer, es geht mir, dash, dash, dash. So we have them in order of very good to not good. So super, super, sehr gut, very good, 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 es geht, I'm fine. So up to good, we will have them as es geht mir super, es geht mir sehr gut, es geht mir gut. But in es geht, it will just be es geht without the, because so that you don't repeat it. Now when you go back to nicht so gut or nicht gut or schlecht, so we will have it as es geht mir nicht so gut or es geht mir nicht gut or es geht mir schlecht. So not very good or not good or bad. And when you are asking back, you'll ask und dir or und ihnen, so and you. Now, obviously, if the person addressed you using dir, you'll use dir. If the person used ihnen, you'll use ihnen. Now let's look at a little exercise to tie all that together. So we have 2 conversations. The one on top between Alex and Anna, and the one at the bottom between Frau Müller and Herr Meyer. So Alex begins the first one with, hello Anna, wie geht's dash? Anna replies, hello Alex, mir geht's gut und dash. Alex answers, mir geht's auch dash. So here we only have one word that we do not know in the conversation, which is auch. which I'd encourage you to look at from any dictionary you might have with you, because it will help you with something. So let's first start from the first blank, and then you'll understand the only answer that fits there based on the auch. So, hello Anna, wie geht's dash? Here we said we're talking to one person and you're trying to figure out if you're going to use dir or ihnen. Now, there's two things that will tell us whether we're supposed to use dir or ihnen. First of all, the hello, showing that it's an informal conversation because it's a cordial greeting, and then Anna has been referred to as just Anna with by her first name, and only the first name. So usually, informal, they use the first name only. Formal, last name plus the title. So wie geht's, here we will have dir. Hello Anna, wie geht's dir? Anna says, hello Alex, mir geht's gut und dash. So because the first one was dir, the second one will also be dir. And then Alex says, mir geht's auch dash. So if you've already found the meaning of auch, then you know that it means also. So because he's replying, I'm also this way, so mir geht's auch gut. Yeah. Then to the second one, Frau Müller, guten Morgen, Herr Meier, wie geht's dash. So just like with the first conversation, we look at the greetings and the way they were addressed. So guten Morgen, formal greeting. Good morning, Herr Meier. So Herr, also check the meanings of Herr and Frau. So Herr is Mr. Frau, you will find that it's Mrs. So good morning, Mr. Meier, wie geht's Ihnen? And then Herr Meier says, guten Morgen, Frau Müller, mir geht's. Okay, so here it can be anything that will fit there except one answer. There's the one that we had talked about. Because it will be repeating yourself if you put it here. So you can have mir geht's super, mir geht's gut, or sehr gut. But the one answer you can't have here is es geht, because it can't be mir geht's es geht. That's repeating yourself. Okay, and then he asks, und Ihnen, und Ihnen. And then Frau Müller here can give whatever answer she wants, including the es geht. Now here it will actually fit. So all the variety of answers that we had, they can fit in the second one. So I hope that helps to tie whatever we've learned together so far. Now let's move on to getting information about a person. So in this section, we're going to be looking at 3 pieces of information: Name, Herkunft und Wohnort. So name, place of origin, and residence. And we're going to be focusing on 2 pronouns: du, first person, second person singular, the informal you singular, and sie, the formal you. And why here we have du and sie, whereas we had dir and ihnen before, is kind of how like we have me versus I, we versus us, him versus him, she, her. So it's the same person you're talking about, but depending on the role, you'll use a different word. So we'll focus on those differences later. We'll explain them later. For right now, this is what we're focusing on. The only reason the ihnen and dir came up is because those are used in greetings, but that topic specifically only comes kind of towards the end of A1, so we won't be seeing it for quite some time. Now, so let's get started. So we have 3 ways of asking for a person's name. You can say, wie heißt du? How are you called? Wer bist du? Who are you? Wie ist dein Name? What's your name? Although it's slightly phrased differently in German, because now in German it sounds like, how is your name? In Sie, you will ask, so if it's a formal situation, you'll ask, wie heißen Sie? Still, how are you called? Wer sind Sie? Who are you? Wie ist Ihr Name? what's your name? And to respond to those, so you can go with Ich heiße, I am called XYZ. Ich bin, I am XYZ. Oder mein Name ist XYZ. So my name is XYZ. Moving on to Herkunft. So you'll be asked, woher kommst du or woher kommen Sie? And you will respond with, ich komme aus dash dash dash. And then for Wohnort residence, here we have two verbs. So wohnen is to live, is to reside, sorry. Leben is to live. So either one makes sense. So you can ask wo wohnst du oder wo lebst du for informal conversations, or wo wohnen Sie or wo leben Sie for formal ones. So the responses you'll get in this case are, or you'll give are, ich wohne in wherever oder ich lebe in wherever. Now let's look at an exercise concerning the same. So in our exercise we have two conversations and they are continuations of the ones from Gates. So in the first one, still with Anna and Alex, in this case we have und woher dash dash. Anna answers dash komme aus Syrien, aber dash jetzt in Chad. Alex answers interessant, ich dash in Madagascar. So here we have two new words, aber und jetzt. So do look those ones up. Interessant is a bit obvious. So we know that this was an informal conversation because they are addressing each other by the first names. So und woher, we know that our pronoun will be du. Now, how did we see the verb is ending when we use du, st? So und woher kommst du? Anna then responds, dash komme aus Syrien, so I come from Syria. Aber, so aber, if you looked it up, aber is but, jetzt is now. So, but dash jetzt in Chad. So dash now in Chad. Now we don't have to repeat the ish. So here we are focusing on our verb. So I come from wherever, but now obviously I live. So we can use either lebe or wohne, whichever you feel like using. And then Alex answers, I dash in Madagascar. So obviously because it is to show the current, something that's happening currently. So I live in Madagascar. So it can't be I come from there if we're using in. For our second conversation, Frau Müller, woher dash dash Herr Meier? Herr Meier answers, dash dash aus Nordrhein-Westfalen. Und dash, Frau Müller, ich komme auch aus dash, aus Köln. So we have just one new word here, auch, and it's actually going to determine the entire answer in that last question. So it's also very important. So they are addressing each other formally. So we know that our pronoun is Sie. So the ending of Sie will be en. So woher kommen Sie, Herr Meier? He answers, I come from. So we can just borrow it from whichever, even the top conversation. Ich komme aus Nordrhein-Westfalen. Und Sie? So same thing. And you? Frau Müller now answers, ich komme auch. So we said auch is a determinant here. Auch means also. So obviously she has to be repeating whatever he said above. So I also come from Nordrhein-Westfalen. So auch aus Nordrhein-Westfalen, aus Köln. So she has specified where. So Nordrhein-Westfalen is one of the Bundesländer of Germany and Köln is one of the cities within it. Yeah. So I hope that helped. Feel free to try recreating these simple small conversations with maybe people who you know. Yeah, simulating a conversation with maybe people who you know, so that the conversation kind of hits closer to home and is easier to remember. Yeah. So all the best with that.